Ho 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 folks! Welcome to our wild and woolly Christmas animal story, where the tinsel meets the tail feathers and the ornaments meet the otters. This is the time of year when even our furry, feathered and finned friends get into the holiday spirit, and trust me, they know how to make it a season to remember. Imagine a world where reindeers aren't just pulling Santa's sleigh but are also decking their antlers with baubles and bells. Picture a partridge who decided to leave the pear tree behind and join the Christmas Carol choir instead. Can you see the squad of squirrels donning their tiny Santa hats, scurrying around collecting nuts for their Christmas feast? Or how about the otters who discovered that Christmas ornaments make for some fantastic juggling balls? And let's not forget the penguins, sliding and gliding into Christmas with their version of ice skating. It's a merry mayhem, a chaos of Christmas cheer, where every creature, big and small, is spreading the holiday spirit in their own unique and often hilarious ways. From the clumsy attempts of bears trying to wrap presents with their big paws, to the cats who think the Christmas tree is a new climbing post, to the dogs who are convinced that every gift under the tree is for them. This is not just a festive season, it's a wild and whimsical adventure that unfolds in the heart of the animal kingdom. It's a time when the usual rules don't apply, and the unexpected is the order of the day. It's a time for laughter, for surprises, for shared moments of joy and silliness that remind us that the spirit of Christmas can be found in the most unlikely of places. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into a holly jolly jungle. Get ready to chuckle, chortle, and cheer as we bring you the most uproarious, the most entertaining, and the most heartwarming Christmas animal stories. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning, and we promise you it's going to be one wild ride. Scene script. Imagine Rudolph with a shiny red beak. Let's see how our feathered friends fare in the frosty fun. Picture this, a chilly winter morning, the sun just beginning to peek over the horizon. Suddenly, a flash of red darts across the snow-covered landscape. It's not Rudolph, no, it's a cardinal. This festive bird seems to be in a bit of a tizzy, flitting about, pecking at a string of popcorn garland hung from a frost-kissed evergreen. Now let's swing over to a different scene. Here we have a cheeky magpie, known for its love of shiny objects. It seems Christmas has come early for our feathered friend. It's found a treasure trove of tinsel and baubles, and it's having a field day. Each shiny trinket is inspected with great interest, and the really special ones are spirited away to a secret stash. That's one way to deck the halls. And who could forget our fine feathered friends of the night, the owls? It seems they aren't immune to the Christmas spirit either. Here's a snowy owl, perched high on a holly branch, blinking its wide eyes at the twinkling lights strung up below. Perhaps it's pondering the meaning of Christmas, or maybe it's just dazzled by the pretty lights. Either way, it's a hoot. But it's not all fun and games. Sometimes Christmas can be a bit of a pickle for our bird buddies. Take this confused robin, for instance. It's found a jingle bell, and can't quite figure out what to do with it. Peck it? Sing to it? The possibilities are endless, and the robin's bemused expressions are simply priceless. Our avian amigos sure know how to keep things interesting during the holiday season. Whether they're frolicking in the frost, decking their nests with stolen decorations, or just trying to figure out what on earth a jingle bell is, they add an extra sprinkle of joy and laughter to the Christmas cheer. Well, that was Tweet. But what happens when our four-legged friends join the Christmas cheer? From treetops to tabletops, our next guests are all about that farm-fresh Christmas spirit. Now when you think of Christmas, what comes to mind? Is it twinkling lights, jingle bells and mistletoe? Or is it bales of hay, a clucking chicken chorus, and a goat wearing a Santa hat? Well folks, we're about to venture into a Christmas celebration that's a little more rustic. Forget the porcelain ornaments and the tinsel trimmings. We're talking hay bales for seats, and a barnyard choir that's got more cluck than a rubber chicken factory. Imagine a chicken coop decked out in fairy lights. Think that's crazy? Wait till you see the chicken with the elf hat, strutting around like it's the star of the show. And you know what? It is. Because out here on the farm, every creature, big or small, has a part to play in the Christmas festivities. Then there's the donkey, draped in tinsel, looking more like a Christmas tree than a farm animal. Is it a fashion statement or just another way to spread the Christmas cheer? Either way, it's got our vote for the most festive farm animal this side of the North Pole. And let's not forget the pigs. You might think they're just rolling in the mud, but we like to think they're making snow angels. Without the snow. And look at that, a pig with a red nose. Who needs Rudolph when you've got a Christmas pig leading the way? But the star of the show, it's gotta be the goat. Yeah, you heard right, a goat. Decked out in a Santa hat and beard, this little guy is the life of the party, headbutting hay bales and spreading cheer all around. So, there you have it. A barnyard Christmas where the animals are the stars and the decorations are as organic as they come. It's a different kind of festive, but it's just as full of joy and laughter. Hey, that's one way to celebrate. But what happens when the wild ones come to town? Christmas in the wild. It's less Silent Night and more Rory Night. Imagine, if you will, a world where tinsel becomes a tasteful addition to a lion's mane, or a penguin waddles around with baubles instead of pebbles. It seems even Mother Nature can't resist the festive spirit. Let's start with our feathery friends. Picture a parrot, perched precariously on a candy cane. You might think it's a strange choice of a perch. But hey, who are we to judge? After all, it's the season of love and understanding, even if it involves a parrot with a sweet tooth. Next, we have a reindeer. And no, it's not Rudolph. This one seems to have mistaken a Christmas wreath for a fashion accessory. It's prancing around, showing off its new headgear to the rest of the herd. They don't seem to get it, but our festive friend doesn't mind. After all, style is a matter of personal choice, and clearly this reindeer is all about the Yuletide vibe. Now, imagine a squirrel, scampering around a Christmas tree. It's not looking for nuts, but for Christmas lights. Apparently, they make excellent nesting material, warm, cozy, and oh so sparkly. Plus, it's a great way to get into the holiday spirit. Who needs a star on top of the tree when you have a squirrel? And let's not forget the monkeys. They've found a pile of wrapped presents and are having a field day. They're unwrapping gifts with such enthusiasm, it's almost as if they are partaking in their own version of the Christmas morning tradition. Only it's less about what's inside and more about the joy of tearing paper. Well, that's a wild way to unwrap a gift. Now let's see who's been naughty and who's been nice. We've seen tinsel tangles and bauble bumbles, but wait till you see the Christmas animal story blooper reel. Now we all know that life isn't always a well-directed Christmas movie. There are times when things go awry, and our furry friends here are no exception. Their attempts to get into the holiday spirit often lead to some hilarious missteps. And lucky for us, these moments are caught on camera. Remember our reindeer friend from earlier, attempting to gracefully leap over a snow mound? Well, let's just say he might have miscalculated his landing a tad. But don't worry folks, he's fine. He simply added a new dance move to his repertoire, the snow faceplant. And then there's our squirrel friend. You know, the one with the penchant for shiny objects? Well, turns out Christmas lights are a bit too alluring for him. Picture this: a squirrel, a string of twinkling lights, and a sudden realization that he's bitten off more than he can chew. Literally. Oh, and who could forget our group of penguins trying to carol? The words to Jingle Bells seem to have slipped their minds midway through. The result? A cacophony of squawks and honks that would give any choir a run for its money. But it's not all mishaps and mayhem. There are moments of pure gold too, like when our parrot tried to mimic the sound of jingling bells and ended up sounding like he'd swallowed a kazoo. Or when our mischievous monkey decided to decorate a cactus, only to find out that it's a bit prickly than your average Christmas tree. These bloopers are a reminder that the holiday season is not about perfection. It's about laughter, joy, and a squirrel proving that even the best laid plans can go hilariously awry when Christmas lights are involved. So, as we wrap up our Christmas animal story, let's remember to take a page out of our Animal Friends book. Embrace the unexpected, laugh at the bumbles, and enjoy the magic of the season. And there you have it, folks, our Christmas animal story, because nothing says Christmas quite like a squirrel in a Santa hat.